masterful storytellers, creatives, and entertainers, all hosted by a master of the game.
His Royal Blackness, KKD,
the finest.
Catch Master of the Game on CTV. Oh yes, nuggets of inspiration and delightful treats for your enjoyment. Whether you love power, money, beauty, or fame, there is so much to learn from Master of the Game. Only in the place to be. The coolest channel, CTV. Hello, happy holiday and welcome to Master of the Game, the program on which I bring you the movers, shakers, icons, and legends of our beloved motherland Ghana. The name is Darkwah, Kwasi Kyei Darkwah, and today I am so delighted to be united with a dear brother of mine, a thought leader, a fantastic brother. His manager and his beloved both agree that he is a tree hugger, award-winning musician, a farmer, and more importantly, an activist. His lyrical content is compelling. His style of music on stage is so fascinating. And today, on a special holiday, the Monday after Easter, I bring you the one and only Rocky Dawuni. Rocky,
my brother.
Oh, it's a delight to see you, brother.
It's such an honor to see you. Yes,
I'm so happy to see you. Brother to brother, this is good.
It's a beautiful day.
You're always traveling.
The thing is that you have to move to make things happen a lot of times, and I feel that the physical presence in various places, engaging people, igniting and catalyzing, your mission and your vision is critical to ultimately, success on your path. So, I've become very, it's been a part of me, and I feel that that's a part that I never want to relinquish. So I'm constantly
They say
moving.
there are two great things about travel. If you go to somebody else's country,
Yes.
and it is worse than yours,
Yes.
you learn to stay in yours.
You know,
if it is better than yours, you learn to make yours better when you come back home.
Interestingly, like, let's say I took a trip, I was just in Washington, D.C., and I landed there, the day there was a meeting, the president was meeting another president, and then to be in there and see, like, what was going on in America, in terms of the streets, the protests, close to the White House and all of that. I mean, it was an opportunity went to go meet congressional leaders too, and to see the kind of the political situation that was going on there, and then the tension and the air. Coming back on my way back to Ghana, it was like once I touched Kotoka and went into my quiet house, there was like a little kind of exhalation, about how we have it very good here. Because regardless of everything, Ghana is literally extremely calm, and that I started really even appreciating more.
Is Ghana calm?
Ghana,
Because things are good, or because of cowardice? Because too many people are complaining face to face to their brothers and sisters.
No, the thing is that,
but are not speaking out.
You see, in every social situation, there's problems. Problems are as much as from the early point of human creation, problems are an aspect of life. And circumventing problems, engaging problems, and dealing with them is part of life's journey.
I want to ask you.
Yes.
Who do you consider was the first problem? The serpent or the woman?
I think I think that
My feminist sisters will not like this.
No. What I think was that with that motif and scenario, you have a trickster who comes and uses one person against the other and breaks a concept that was harmoniously meant for each other. So I think that the serpent was a mastermind. And also, it's unfortunate that the human creation at that time did not have the wherewithal or the big mindset to foresee the intentions of the serpent. So in the long run, the serpent has been instrumental in where we find ourselves right now. So
when you talk about the lack of the wherewithal to understand or foresee what the serpent was up to, Are you talking of naivety or ignorance?
I think it's a combination of both. And I think right now, even we're dealing with that situation right now. When you look at this, the kind of the construct that is going on, even when it comes to continentally, we as a people, as against what is going on around the world. Understanding that right now, the only one that can stand for themselves is ourselves. And the only way to stand for ourselves is when we find a means by which we can work together. But at a point when everybody, every race, every people are looking inwards and trying to utilize their resources and upholding their identity, we still have an extremely divided system, which is preventing us from uniting to see that the times in which we are, this is the time that we need to make a big move. I'm talking of Africans. African unity. So if African unity, so even if we look at the serpent will prevent us from African unity, because the serpent knows that African unity is the victory of the black man. So any black man that is working to serve other interests outside of that objective, it's an enemy to our progress. So the serpent is constantly, I think that the serpent is a motive of every day we deal with the temptation of the serpent.
I love the way you capture it. And this is the artistry that you use in writing your songs.
Yes.
Sometimes comedy, sometimes satire, sometimes poetry, sometimes prose. 3 of your favorite songs, not your favorites, but fan favorites as well, in Ghana. In Ghana is still one of your biggest tracks ever in this country. And I have a Nigerian friend who says, I don't understand why this your brother I do this song in Ghana. This song not in Africa.
No, because this is the reason, because you cannot talk about a big idea without, first of all, being able to express your personal experience. The time I wrote this song, it was an expression of Ghana's role as an igniter of the identity of being African. So I had to come to it from my personal experience. It was a spiritual confession. That song was a spiritual confession, because I felt that this was a country that had the leadership when it came to political systems, the leadership when it comes to the independence fight to liberate our continent. Even when the Europeans were coming here, you find most of the forts were located on our coast. So Ghana has been a place of interest and spiritually the center of the earth, because you have the longitude and the latitude all crossing here. So this is a divine space, and we are divine people, but it looks like we've been struggling to recognize our divinity as a people. And the leadership,
not all of us.
A leadership, no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it in such a way that the majority, recognition is not the criticism. It's about knowing your power and utilizing the capacity of your power. So the song in Ghana for me represented that confession. There's a lyric in there. On
sing
top
it,
of,
don't say it.
Yeah.
Sing it, don't say it. That's my brother.
Right on top of Mount Zion, I wipe my tears. Lord, raise my flag, red, gold, and green, so I can sing a song for Africa with honesty in Ghana.
Yep, I got it. Right on top of Mount Zion. Mount Zion is, where you can have the divine perception. So right on top of Mount Zion, I recognized, it came to me, the realization of this. But God, wipe my tears so that I can sing a song for Africa in honesty in Ghana. So it's about being honest about who we are, embracing our divinity, knowing our greatness. And this country also boldly leading that unification thing. It's our destiny. It's like ingrained in our DNA. So our leaders, no matter what we do, Ghana needs to be that tip of the spearhead.
The spearhead,
of course,
of that unity. Because that unity will be the game changer around the world. That unity means we can have our own economy. You know, when we don't have the borders, we have such a strong economy that within even our borders, we can generate volume that we don't need to export anywhere in order for us to generate the wealth that we need for our development. We are the most endowed when it comes to resources. We are most endowed when it comes to forests, trees, natural environment. We're most endowed when it comes to human capital, the biggest youth population. So it's almost like God has given you everything, but you're waiting for God again to come and be the catalyzer of you taking your first step. Why did God give you life? Life is about you embracing your divinity. That's why for me, I feel that this is Ghana's time, but it's not Ghana's time for the sake of us. It's Ghana's time for the sake of the entire black race, the entire continent of Africa. So that's why for me, that song is a prayer. I wouldn't call it prophecy, because then you're saying, I'm saying it for my personal gain.
I'll bring you to the video in Ghana so we can, listen to the
yes,
for the benefit of the younger ones who are now learning about it. But it's another song of yours, Beautiful People. Who are you writing about?
Beautiful People was also, it was, I had an opportunity of traveling around the world. Beyond just being a Ghanaian and an African, and also recognizing that you find good friends everywhere you go, and you find family everywhere you go. And when you start seeing the good in humanity, you also begin seeing the good in yourself. So I started understanding that my mission was constantly being updated and upgraded in terms of the experiences that I was coming, be it a concert, whether it's in the, doing a concert in Costa Rica, doing a concert in Brazil, a concert in Greenland, a concert, in Europe.
You got a chance to perform at the Vatican.
Yes.
May I use this to interject quickly and say rest in peace to Pope Francis, who's passed away today, Easter Monday. Originally of Italian heritage.
Yes.
And born in Latin America. And he left us with three very important thoughts.
Yes.
That we should be kind to one another, kind to the poor, kind to the needy, and also never let go of compassion.
Yes.
Never let go of compassion.
Yes.
How do you get to perform at the Vatican?
Let's say that it was an event that was organized by the Holy See, and I was approached to do the concert. So that was actually prior to this Pope coming. That was the previous Pope.
Yeah.
So it was called the Journey of the Itineraries of the Spirit.
The Journey of the Itineraries
of the Spirit.
I'm wondering how many approvals were required before
it was a pretty serious approval.
A criminal background check.
Everything. I think I was brought in based upon the content of my music, and also in terms of the profile of my music. And it was just one bright day I got an email from the Holy See inviting me to come and play this. And they invited like people from all different parts of the Catholic, in terms of the Catholic leaders from around the world. And the concert was, getting on stage.
So did they tell you can't move your waist a certain way? And all
the thing was that I brought my concert. I was bringing my energy.
So they don't tell you what not to do?
No. But all I know is that when I did in Ghana, there was, some of the nuns and stuff. It was pandemonium.
They
people,
danced?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, people were on stage with me and stuff. And at that time, there was I don't like to name names just because of protection. There was a priest of Ghanaian heritage who was so excited also, my president, he jumped on stage, and there's like even photos of me jumping with him and all of that. Although the videos, since up to now, I've not seen any of the videos, you know. And then the beautiful thing is that afterwards, I had opportunity of being the guest of the papacy for about 4 or 5 days.
Whoa.
So I got opportunity of, traveling to the catacombs to see, the St. Peter's, tomb. And also it was my birthday at that time, so there was also a special mass that was done for me for the previous at the sacred space of the previous pope. So so there was a lot of it was more shall I say, as a personality that was bringing peace, spreading around, and also of a faith that was not Catholic, but preaching a very, shall I say, inclusive idea of spirituality that is beyond religion. It's like an inclusive idea of finding God in wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you belong, and then to be invited into this,
hallowed space.
This hallowed space, and giving such a respect, and being, doorways. I remember being on the grounds of the papacy and then being taken to the private praying place of the Pope, and the altar was also a space that had been brought from Louvre in France, where there was a miracle, and so that altar had been brought into the hallowed space, and then being in that place, and then being taken to a place to where all the sciences and like every day the Pope, and every year.
So why do you think you get all this privilege?
I think that is my path. You know what I mean? I have always believed in humanity, and I've always believed that everything I do is I'm following the voice of God as I hear in my head and in my mission. And nobody's perfect, but I try as much as possible to do it, as I say, in honesty, in my honesty, and work as hard as I can, try to be as pure as I can in my own way. And I feel that those are the things that allow those blessings to come my way.
So music by itself takes people places.
Yeah. And then music is also a spirit. That's why when you see it more as a spiritual calling and not necessarily something that feeds into your ego, then the music itself becomes an instrument of projecting you. And you don't always make the mistake that you are some sort of chosen special person. The chosen special aspect is because of your dedication and your humility to utilize the gifts that you're being given, to share it on a bigger level. I think when you do that, the greatness of what you become is beyond the confines of your own identity and limitation.
Let me look at it this way. So music takes people places. Some, it takes them to big stages. Some, it takes them to nightclubs. Some, it takes them to pole dancing halls. And some, it takes them to hallowed spaces.
Yes.
And each
it's
but
funny.
You haven't done pole dancing clubs, no.
The thing is that I've never even, this story I'm telling you, it's like something I kept personal.
Yeah.
I never talked about it on interviews. But yeah, I'm talking to my brother, and then it also happens that, we lost the Pope. So I felt that it was important for me now to talk about that, because many people see me, they was like, oh, Rasta man, when I even step into churches, people are wondering what I'm doing there, or when I go into mosques, people are wondering there, but my journey has taken me to so many different places, and it's humbling to see when you subscribe to your mission, where your mission.
So I'll bring you back to beautiful people. You're talking about beautiful people, not just being about melanated people, Africans, but people from all your experiences and
all my experience. But then when I was shooting the video, what I did was that I went to my traditional village, because I can only utilize.
Which one is that?
Bumbong.
Bumbong in which region?
It's in northern Ghana, right close to Yendi. So
fantastic.
I'm from the royal house of my ancestry has been the chiefs there, and currently my older brother who I come after, is Chief Umbe Dawuni, is the chief of the place. So when I was filming, I was, after Beautiful People was about to release, I brought cameramen every day there, and literally the video was about the traditions, the life in the village, like what I was. It's a song about humanity in a bigger sense, but in the visual representation, it was about the everyday life of who I am as an African.
Your village as a microcosm for the world.
Yes, so it's about using the microcosm to express the macrocosm. Using local to express global. And I feel that is who we are, because unless you are able to stick your identity and stick who you are, then what are you? And for me, I feel that we are a blessed, chosen people. By chosen people, I don't mean chosen people against other people. You're chosen. How much you're chosen is about how much you recognize that greatness. And when you recognize that greatness, it even brings you a sense of humility. It's not a sense of going around to show people, to impose your greatness, because everybody has that greatness. And I believe that if we inspire each other to express our greatness, then we become a force. It's almost like the force of God now has a home in us, because God can only exist in righteousness and humility. If a glass is too full, you can't add anything to it. So we have to make ourselves vessels of the divine by being worthy of it, by using that power for the benefit of our own, supporting our own, elevating our own, righteousness, doing good, speaking out against corruption, against iniquity, against unrighteousness.
It's not enough just to entertain.
It's not enough. You got to walk the talk, and walk the talk within yourself too. So if you within yourself too, you have issues within yourself, you will be an impure vessel for the true divine voice.
When we come back, more with my special guest, Rocky Dawuni, fantastic musician, fluent in many languages, and just a great personality. Right after this.
Excellent furnishing in a real estate business is a great deal for survival. My struggles as a young estate developer were cut short when I discovered Fernart Ghana. With quality furniture made from the finest woods and amazing after-sale service, Fernart Ghana changed my story with every single home I built. It's a one-stop shop that serves the interests of clients with a variety of living room and dining sets, solid wood kitchen installations, wardrobes, doors, cabinets, beds, pergolas, floor parquets, and many other wooden products that will last a lifetime. With Fernat Ghana, all clients are offered the opportunity to customize furniture to their specifications, and the smile on their faces says it all. Thanks to Fernat, now your home can look beautiful with furniture that would last for generations. Visit Fernat Ghana today and share my story. Locate us at Yaniba Estate, Osu, Accra, or call 0303-966085 or 055-278-4097. Think wood, think Fernat.
Time now for jubilation. Oh God, I wish I had an answer. Causing sweet glow, our spirits will grow. We're sitting down every day, and then behind the wall the smiling sun stores. The people all know the reason why we still grow. So brothers, be jamming, yes, be jamming, yeah. We'll be jamming till they hiding, oppress them and running. Whilst we jamming, yeah. We'll be jamming today. I heard you cry. Oh God, I heard you. This feeling makes me feel so strong that I don't even know just what to do. Yes, I really know now. I really got to get this straight. Yeah, I know my feelings are serious. We are going stop non-stop. So brothers be rising and be jamming. Yeah, we'll be jamming till they hiding or press them around. Once we jamming, we'll be jamming today. So say it's no from Rasta. In Ghana, we're stopping all the suffering. In Ghana, I say it's no from Africa. In Ghana, Jaja seals and signs and delivers. Yeah.
Yes, he seals and signs and delivers.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Love that video.
yes,
oh
yes,
my,
yes.
you look like an 18-year-old.
You know,
And the locks had begun back then?
yeah.
It was
They
an
had
afro
begun-
with locks.
Yeah, afro with locks, you know, and all of that, and kind of a zeal like no other, you know, because I was singing about, you know, the place that had made who, you know,
Who you were to become.
who I was to become.
No,
you
because
know.
over there, you'd become a star in Ghana.
Yes.
Little did you know that you were going to be a star on the world stage.
Well, you know, the thing is that I had always believed that the mission of what I recognize as a musician was beyond, was transcended, it was transboundary. That means it was not limited only to one geographic area. Because the message that I saw in my music was a bigger message of hope and unity for all of humanity. So that showed me that, you know, my pathway was going to be from, every pathway was a stepping stone towards another pathway. So I never lost sight of that. There's actually a story that I tell people all the time that, you know, when, right, even before this time and all of that, before I even was known by anybody, you know, when in my formative years, one day my neighbor who had like a lot of records, I used to always jump the wall, go into their house because they always will bring new records. I'll go and listen to music. So there was a cover of Stevie Wonder's Hotter Than July.
Whoa.
So I picked the record and I was looking, I was like, man, I love, you know, because it's an artwork with him with braids, with all of these stars.
Exactly.
And there was a moment there where I said that I want to be so good in what I do that one day I will meet this man. And then me and Stevie Wonder were played together at an event called, Global, God, I've forgotten what
Where
it
was
is,
this?
but this was Hollywood Bowl. Hollywood Bowl, the biggest stage in the world. You know, so I performed, Janelle Monáe performed, all of these people, like 20,000 in the most iconic stage in the world. People are talking about different stages these days. They don't know Hollywood Bowl is where where the eighth place. And then the finale, went after Stevie's set to the finale, Stevie invited all of us to come and do Higher Ground with
You did
him.
Higher Ground with Stevie
Wonder? You know,
So what, you were singing chorus?
I was singing chorus, yeah. Hollywood Bowl, yeah. And then afterwards, backstage, I was sitting with Stevie chatting, and I told Stevie the story.
Oh my God.
Of sitting. And so he looked at me and he said, you willed it, you manifested
He didn't
it.
look at you, he perceived.
Yeah.
He perceived.
Yeah, he perceived it. He perceived me, yes.
Because Stevie doesn't look.
And as you can see, this is even an earlier show. This was even prior to the Hollywood Bowl show.
Wow.
Where I was doing a concert, a sold-out concert in Los Angeles.
Yep.
I was launching my Book of Changes album, and the whole of LA was there. It was sold out, lines everywhere. And then I get a call that Stevie was coming to the show.
So now they gotta make seats
Yeah.
ready for
So
him.
Stevie comes into the place. There's pandemonium going on in the hall. I mean, this is like, I mean, when I talk about sold out with
I know.
line everywhere.
I know.
Then I see that if somebody has found like this is actually one of the other. Yeah, oh, this is the Hollywood Bowl.
What do you mean somebody has found?
Wow.
My director Sami Adanu is at work. What are you talking about?
Wow. and then Stevie comes there, and I was about to do Wake the Town, one of my Afro songs.
Yeah.
So then I hear Kerry was on the side of the stage, waving at me like, stop, you know, in the middle of like.
Was Stevie coming on stage?
So he comes and said, Stevie says that whenever you want him, he will come on stage.
Oh my God!
And then I said, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Stevie Wonder.
Oh my
And then
God.
he climbs up, and it was this epic. There's a 13-minute.
Stevie Wonder joins you on stage.
Join me on stage playing
You're blessed.
harmonica,
You're
and
blessed.
it's a 13-minute piece of this song, "Wake the Town." It's even online somewhere and all of that. And this, you know, these are all like stuff that happened. And when I started, this was a club that I had established in Los Angeles, and I was doing event. I was also using the club as a means to project African music. This was one of the things that even propelled African music. Right now, everybody's enjoying the fruits, not knowing the people who are doing the groundwork.
Yeah.
Prince, not long after, I get a call from Prince. You know, Prince comes there to come and hang out with me. Prince will invite me to private concerts that he was doing. One of the events that he was doing at his house was actually about 15 people that he invited. He did a whole set with his band. And he did covers of Michael Jackson and all of that. I've never seen Prince do that, but this was something that I was privy because of what I had created as a musician and my pathway, you know. So many people, when they hear of my nomination and all of that, they think that you just got up, they ask you, who do you know, who do you call, and all of that. They don't understand the journey.
You've got to put in the work.
Put in the work. But it starts with just a Ghanaian kid believing in a dream. And that's why I tell them, I'm just like, I am not something special. I don't see myself as something special. I've never ever seen myself as something special. I've only seen myself as somebody who answered the call as to what my talent was, and I worked diligently every day and learned. So even the new artists, some of them will come up to me thinking that, oh, boss, and this, I'm just like, no, I'm a fan of yours. I listen to you. I'm learning from you. And they don't think, why are you learning from me when you are supposed to be the one that is learning? Like, no, the way I grow is to listen to the upcoming young artists. That's who I am. I'm not listening to anything. I'm not seeing myself up there. I'm seeing myself constantly being educated by these artists, because I remember the time when I was there. That was the era of purity, great creativity. And that's the potential I see in this country. You know, everybody's like, you are up there. I'm just like, no. But that's why I don't attach a lot of value even to this nomination thing that everybody talks about. I'm like, you've been nominated. You've been nominated. I've been nominated, but I see it more. I see it more as showing that we can do it. Showing that we don't have to see this as something higher than us. Because if you're a kid and you are born here and you have a dream and you are working towards and you're not waiting for, be a mommy, so that's a defeatist mentality. Just do it. Go out there and do it. If a train is moving, others will support it. And not that we didn't go through challenges. We went through challenges. I was denied everything here. I went and met people. Hold it right. All right. Hold it right.
Now, you gotta talk to me. When they came to tell you, Stevie Wonder says, whatever time you want, he will come on stage. Tell me the feeling.
The feeling, was that, when you've worked and you've journeyed, and then the icons that you looked up to and idolize in every sense come and, I wouldn't say validate, but participate in what you are doing. it also, the joy for me was to God, for somebody like myself who believe in the dream. It validated my belief in the supreme guidance, that if you believe in something strong enough, if your faith is strong enough, and you trust your path and you walk into it, miracles happen. A lot of times you don't see it as miracles, but I saw that as the miracle of me trusting and believing in this gift of music. That here we connected as musicians. The music brought us together. It was not about me. It's not about him. It was about the music. It was about him being there at the concert. That concert was one of the most amazing concerts
I have to ask you
ever.
this question because having traveled the world and seen great concerts myself,
Yes.
I do understand a musician must feel so dearly about you, or have such deep respect for you, or have some affinity with your sound, to sit in a space where he would normally be paid thousands and thousands of dollars to rise and play.
Yeah.
To say, when you want me on stage,
Yeah.
I'll be there for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That's something.
It's an honor, and that me and Stevie have stayed friends since then, for a long time. And when he came for his citizenship here, I was beside him for when it was bestowed on him, and then we, together with Akosua Buzia, we did a press conference together. So it's there's been that connection both within the diaspora and then also in terms of him now as a citizen of my country, and I will give a lot of props to my sister Akosua Buzia too. She's a